And now to unpack this a bit more further, we are now joined by Congress of South Africa's Trade Unions First Deputy President Mike Shingange, and he joins us via our video link. Mike, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, we've seen through some of the clips we have played throughout this evening, when it comes to how successful the day was for Cosatu. How would you characterize today's day of action? Are you satisfied as Cosatu in terms of the turnout?
Thank you very much. Good evening, Bale, and your viewers. Definitely, we are very satisfied that workers came out to respond to the call that they themselves made through their structures, that Cosatu is the biggest federation in the country, a federation that is in touch with the societal issues, was able to be on the streets across the country today and raise the issues that affects not only the workers and not only the working class, but the broader society as a whole. Like you will have seen, we've raised the issues of water, we've raised the issues of the safety of communities, we've raised the issues of electricity, the issues of unemployment. So indeed, we are very satisfied that the turnout of workers, number one, the level of absenteeism from the employment, particularly the ones of the private sector, and indeed that the workers were able today to listen to their voices as they express their deep feelings of the troubles that they are affecting the society in the country. So it has been a good day in office for us as a federation.
And what do you say, Mike, to those who are saying that, well, it was a low turnout? You are saying that you're satisfied with the progress in which you have seen throughout the country.
Sorry, I lost you there.
Okay, I'm going to re-ask my question again. I was saying to you, what do you have to say to those who are saying that when you look at the low turnout of today's day of action, when you compare it to the past, where Cosatu was able to bring in the numbers, what do you have to say to those workers who continued to go to work and didn't join in on the march, despite the issues here which you are raising, are quite important, especially in the time which we are living in now?
Well, the workers that might not have been able to join, it could have been through different reasons, including the question of transportation from the various affiliates. But anybody has to show us, anybody else other than Cosatu in the recent past, including today, that has brought the numbers that Cosatu has brought up today out in the street in all 9 provinces, over 15 marches, and anybody else who has been raising the issues that Cosatu is raising today, other than Cosatu itself. What we are saying is that we remain the critical voice that represents the majority of the working class and also the aspirations of the downtrodden of our masses in the country. We have no doubt, we have no regret, we have no hesitation about our success of the numbers that came out today. We have no issues about the success of the issues we've raised. We have no issues about that the people, workers representing the broader society of our country was able to voice out their issues. And we have no doubt that we have touched every sector that matters in this country. We've went to the private sector, we've went to the farms, we've went to municipalities, we've went to the mines, we've went to government. Show me any other organization that was able to do so in just one a day across the country.
What does this day signify for Cosatu? I know you've raised a number of issues here. When we look at, those various factors being raised across the country, issues of load shedding, issues of socioeconomic problems, the high unemployment rate, water challenges in some aspects. When you look at, what this day means to Cosatu, what kind of action do you want to see taken by government?
Firstly, this day represents the fact that Cosatu remains in touch with the issues affecting the society. We are not a one-issue-based organization. We are a transformative federation. We're in touch with the community struggles, much as we're in touch with the workplace struggles. We're in touch with the transformation agenda that which this country must traverse on, and we also take responsibility for its progress or its failures. So we do think that this is what actually really emphasizes what Cosatu has always been and what Cosatu it is today. And we're determined to move forward. So in terms of the actions, if you have listened to our memorandum across the country on every other issue that we have raised, we also provided what we think are the proposals that can take the council forward. Some of them are not new. Some of them actually have been agreed at various forums like NETLEC, like Parliament, like in the Alliance bilaterals, or actually even the bilateral with the various departments that are responsible with these matters. Some of them do not require any budget. For instance, the law enforcement, for instance, the protecting the farm workers and making sure that the labor laws of this country are adhered to. Does not need any budget. But we also know that now that we've provided some of the proposal or the alternatives to the current policy trajectory, we also, within 14 days, expecting that we should have engagement with the powers that be it business, be it government, be it NETLEC, or even the parliament. We are prepared to engage and put forward that which our proposals. If you've listened to our memorandum, some of the things we are raising are the things that we have raised before. That's why we decided today to raise them publicly, so that the public should know that Cosatu does not just complain, Cosatu does not just raise issues, but Cosatu also have a set of proposals that they think that they can take the country forward. We are expecting an engagement to take that forward. But like we have said, it is one of those days that we decided that if nothing happens, we're left with nothing to do but to continue with this rolling mass action, because the turnout today says to us, the Central Executive Committee of the Federation, including the leadership, have been engaging in boardrooms, have been engaging in meetings and bilateral, but workers have said today they do think that is their time now to call out and actually defend these demands of theirs, highlight these issues and protest and fight for themselves. And therefore, if nothing happens after our day of action today, it means there's no telling what is going to happen in the months to follow, because I'm sure in 14 days we'll have a CS Cosatu, and we're going to determine the way forward. But the way forward is clear, is that there's going to be a continuous, unstoppable, rolling mass action of the workers for as long as this crisis persists. For as long as there's no solution to the crisis that faces society today, the Federation will not keep quiet. The Federation will not close itself behind the doors. The Federation will be on the street to defend society, defend the working class in general.
And Mike, one would also ask, when we are faced with inflation rates and a high cost of living, when it comes to the stagnant economy that is facing South Africa, you are saying that some of these solutions do not need a budget. Does government have the capacity to actually come to the fore and actually deal with these problems head on?
Well, in fact, we have long demanded that the mandate of the Reserve Bank should be more developmental and productive than only focusing on managing the inflation. So when you talk of inflation, the rate that is going up, you will know that a week later, once the inflation goes up, the Reserve Bank is going to come up and raise the repo rate. What means, therefore, is that much as the buying power and the earning capacity of the employees who are lucky enough to have jobs, their buying capacity has been reduced. And at the same time, you're going to have a Reserve Bank that raises the inflation as a result of them trying to fight raise the repo rate as a result of trying to fight the inflation, which again plunges the workers into deeper poverty, especially when it comes to the issue of the loans, the issue of the debts that they have, and the interest rates high. So that's one of the things that we are fighting, that the current policy, monetary policy of the Reserve Bank is not sustainable. It's not taking the country anywhere. While they try to fight the inflation, they are not helping the working class. They are not helping those who are supposed to circulate the money into the economy.
All right, Mike.
But of course, other things that we've been raising today have nothing to do with the budgets, like enforcing the laws, protecting the vulnerable workers, making sure that the laws in the farm workers are protected. There's nothing budgetary that is needed there. It's just it's a commitment, and also making sure that we are focused as a country.